This vessel houses the most divine being, and I care for it not because I want to be skinny or because I have a great outfit. I care for it because it's housing a really great, beautiful being, and it lives inside of me. Wow. Now, is this easy? No. I call it learning to walk in the light. I've had so many experiences, and you think I'd be standing here before you saying, yeah, I got it all figured out, and I don't. Because on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm walking in the light, and I got it, and I'm kind to everybody, and when somebody's rude to me, I'm kind back, and then on Thursday, it all collapses for me, and I find myself saying something that is not in divine right order, and you're like, oh, there's my human, kicking and screaming. So it's about seeing yourself in other people, because once you know who you are, you can no longer look at another human being and not know who they are. Now, once we're in that particular position, we're self-policing. We won't hurt an animal. We don't need people caring about the animals. We won't hurt the earth. We don't need committees for that. Now, these things will all be going good, and they're all wonderful, and I'm not trying to say that's not the case. But once we stand in our true source energy, once we really know who we are, somebody like me will stand up and say, guess what, guys? I have a project that only uses your mind. Now, if you pray because you resonate and you love it. If you meditate because you love it. It connects, and you love to meditate. But if you don't do any of those things, and you're wondering how in the heck can a fence-sitter like me make a difference in the world, you find your joy, and you give thanks. So on July 17, 2007, over 25 million people in 98 countries, according to GMT, which is Greenwich Mean Time, sat down at the exact same time. So Ireland and Tibet and Canada and the United States, according to my website, which was all donated for free. When you go to my site, the whole site's free. Everything on it is free. It's about delivering a message for free. You all say, well, I paid to get in here. But I'm here for free. I want you to know that I'm bringing you the message. I'm only a messenger. I'm no different than anybody in this room, except I got pinged in the forehead by drowning, which I really don't encourage as a wake-up call. But hey, to each their own. I hope that you can see what I'm saying. So one of the things that I share with people is, well, how do you practice? How do you do this? Because learning to walk in the light takes practice. I always say, when you go pee, you got a great time. 10 times a day, you're alone, it's quiet. You have a moment to say thank you. What are you going to say thank you for? Sometimes it's just for the fact that there's a toilet seat. So this is really true. This is really the truth. These beings are really real. Everything that has happened. So my first miracle, my little boy is 12 years old, walking around having a great life. My second miracle is the fact that on one email letter, no advertising, a welfare mother managed to bring together over 25 million people in 98 countries to sit down. You clap for yourself because this is our personal power. This is ours. It's inside of you. Feel it. Feel it right now. So, we wake up. What do we do now? Oh, yeah, everybody's awake. Hey, I see you, That's great. We all see each other. What are we going to do with it? Fire the Grid 3, which is actually Fire the Grid 1 for me because it's a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Fire the Grid 1 is about sitting with those that you love or by yourself, seeing the world that you want. Green grass, clean water, clean air. Vision it. Don't just, sit there and go, yeah, I'd like to have clean water. That'd be great. Put your body in it. Put your emotions in it. That's where the energy comes from. That's the passion. That's the creative force of your divinity. Let it breathe through the human. The breath is your truth. What are you going to do? Take a crayon with your kids. Tell them, let's make a big plan. What would the world look like? Oh, we'd have flying cars. We'd have sunshine for everybody. Everybody get ice cream. Basically, what we want to see is the desktop clean. We want clean water, clean food, abundance, shelter, love. It's the first tier of Maslow's. We must attain the first tier of Maslow's for every living being on the planet before we can catapult ourselves into this beautiful place of creating harmony and bliss and joy. So first we really have to step into it. It's the human part of doing the do. They said to me, it's in the doing that you create the reality. You don't have to know how to do it, and you don't know what it looks like at the end. You just step into it. Yes, I'm going to get together with my friends. We're going to sit around and we're going to talk about what a great world would look like. We do not focus on the negative. So some horrible catastrophe happens. It pulls you back into your human. Boom, you're in 300 megahertz. So we all get together in little groups and we talk about it. Oh my God. And there's drama, and there's pain, and there's frustration, and anger, and hurt, and hatred. Guess what? You guys are buying into it full, hook, line, and sinker. Let's all look at the horrible stuff. I'm not saying that that horrible stuff is not there. I'm saying you see it. You say, oh, this is not my choice for a new world. I send it love. There's nothing I can do. I live here, and it's happening there. I send it love, I send it love, I send it love. Now, what would it look like? This is back here. What would it look like if I looked over here and saw another world? I'm in creation mode now. I'm lifting the vibration. Now they gave us 3 ways to lift the vibration. So there's 3 ways to stay in high vibration, but how do you get there? The first one is listen to uplifting music. And that's not going around saying, well, I have to listen to this, harp strumming. Uplifting music is what does your heart go, yeah, right on, I'm having a good time, I love this. Uplifting music can be Bon Jovi, which my son says rocks. So, listen to uplifting music and allow your body to feel it, because the only truth on this whole planet in your system is tone. You are a frequency on the other side. You're the essence of a frequency. So listen to uplifting music and allow yourself to feel the joy of the tone. It's going to tap on your own code. The second one is do random acts of kindness. We live in a world where everybody's honking at you and swearing at you and kicking at the door. Don't be one of those. I call it mentality. Being present. So these beings gave me 3 stones. There's the first one, farther grid 3, which is actually 1. Confusing. This is the second stone, which you will not see on my site yet, because they said humans love gestalt. They love to see things linearly laid out in front of them. So the second stone on my site has 2 stones with a little cap, because we needed it. But the time is here that we don't need it anymore. We don't need to be placated. We don't need to be soothed. We're okay with truth. So this is really the second stone, code. This is the third stone, standing mighty in the I am. I am fully aware and awake. I am able and divinely entitled to connect. I am a human being housing a divine vessel. Once we have that acknowledgement, we go, yeah, I am all of those things, and I am entitled to connect, and I do so. I connect. And you can do it anywhere. As soon as you're having a bad day, I connect. I need divinity right now to help me with this difficult situation. So the I am creates we can. So when Fire the Grid 3 shows up and we need 100 million people to sit down with their minds and create, I am present, I am defined, I become. This is how we will change the world. People say, well, how does it look and how's it going to be? Stop thinking about the what ifs and the wheres and the how-tos. Just trust in this connection that you feel inside of you. And I know many of you are feeling it because you're bombarding me with it. And it feels really good. But learning to walk in the light is about being patient and loving with one person first and foremost, yourself. The 3 things they said to me is be defined. Be defined as a human being that is going to change the world. Be defined as a human being that knows they're awake and wants to do something. Once you acknowledge what you are, be present. Watch for the obstacles that kick us. You walk into the corner store, the girl behind the counter is having a really lousy day, she swears at you. Your instinct is to defend yourself. It's human. It's not divine. It's human. So immediately you defend back. Ask divinity to watch you in these moments so that when that poor girl behind the counter who's having a really crummy day and making $6 an hour treats you badly, your divinity comes up and says, wow, that's a beautiful brooch you're wearing. But don't say it if it's not true. Look for something that is true. She's got a lovely haircut. She's got a nice smile. Don't bullshit people. They know bullshit, but truth will soften her human heart, and she will respond with, oh, I'm sorry, I was kind of just yucky with you. I'm just having a hard night. Watch it. It happens every single time. And you guys living in New York, man, you guys are like up to your eyeballs in it. Holy. Oh, they're reminding me here. Be defined, be present, become. Become. Now, when you go on my website, I have a beautiful, beautiful heart that helps me with the website, and a lot of things are not updated because he has a life and he's a human that has to do things. But over the next year, I am launching the Fire the Grid, Join the Joyride, Remember Tour. So, I'm going to go around, by their instructions, which, by the way, I got to tell you, I think is absolutely nuts. Get a bus, travel from Alaska to Mexico, and release North America. Now, why would they want us to release North America? North America is the anchor of the densest energy on the planet. We lift the hearts in North America, a domino effect will happen, and the rest of the energy will go, and the I am will stand firm in their truth. And the truth of one believer will resonate 1,000 squares on the grid. Now you say, what's the grid? There's a crystalline grid in the earth. There's a crystalline grid around the earth. My visions show that the crystalline grid is made of hexagons. The reason bumblebees make hives with hexagons is because they build what they see. We don't see it. Ducks and geese and elk all move like this. They don't bump into each other. Their grids are all turned on. They're communicating. They don't want us to lose our individuality at all. They want us to be awake and formed because then we can create ultimate joy. Your bodies are pleasure vessels. Everything about your entire system was built for pleasure. See, my son knew all about the sex, when he was 4. Find whatever pleasure that is. Enjoy it fully. Relish it. Then don't forget to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Ping! I'm vibrating. There's a reason we call for God while we have sex. It is because we stand in our true essence for one moment. And all the ancients tried to make it last longer. That's because we all want to remember. We all want to be one with that source again. But we also want to have a good milkshake and listen to some good tunes and be human because that's what we are. So this ascension process and the whole concept of awakening, people are trying to be spiritual beings here. Oh man, what a bummer. You only get one body, so really, really enjoy it. But don't forget to say thank you. Now, all that led me away from my 3 things to get high frequency. So the first one was listen to uplifting music. It's the only true language of the soul and the universe. Do random acts of kindness. And the third one goes back to what we just heard. Be in joy. And if you're not in joy, you bloody well better find something that you're enjoying about it. Because that's where you ping your highest frequency. So you go to a party with a bunch of people, and it kind of sucks. But what's joyful here? Look at the beautiful view. I always say that not all the human beings on the planet bring you any joy, but you can always say that they're good carbon dioxide exchange units. So if you really can't find anything nice to say about something, they are doing something good for the planet. You will find joy in nature. You will find joy in music. You will find joy in water. Your natural sense and essence is water. You will find it there. Baths. Listen to your meditative music in the bath. When I first started getting messages from these beings, I would spend 3 to 4 hours in the bath till my children were knocking on the door asking if I was still alive. Water's stone cold, and I'm like, yeah. Who needs drugs? It's really a serious who needs drugs. And it's about this wonderful connection with yourself. And it doesn't have to have any dogma, and it doesn't have to have any ritual. They were very clear to tell me that you can go out in your garden and pick up a stone that calls to you or you like, No money, guys. This is not money projects. Now, if you want to buy something, if you like something and it resonates, great, but you don't need to. You go in the yard, you find a stone or a piece of twig or something that you really relate to. You can rub, maybe. Rubbing's always a good thing, transferring energy. You bring it in your bedroom and you lay it on your nightstand and you say, I'm going to use this as a touchstone. When I get up in the morning, I'm going to say, thank you for breath. Thank you for the being. I'm going to have some ice cream today. I'm going to do something cool. Even though we're having difficult times, we all are. I touch my stone, I touch my twig, I touch my child. And I say, thank you for the day. No dogma needed, no high reverence. We're like the hand at the arm of God, just needs care and respect. Doesn't need you to fall down on your knees and worship it. It needs care and respect. Remember, you are part of it. You are talking divinely to our Creator. So you rub your stone, you get up, you have your day, you pee it 10 times, you say thank you. You find something joyful in every experience, even most of them are crummy. I mean, the subway here is like, wow, I don't know. I had to look hard for joy today. You come home at night, you put your hand on your stone or twig or child, and you remember. You say thank you. What a day. And if you need to go over your day, don't go over the fact that you couldn't pay the bills. Don't go over the fact that, you gained 20 pounds, which I well know. Because I tell you, these are not the important things. The fact that the 20 pounds feels really good when somebody rubs it and tells you how nice you feel, there's a joy moment. My children call it the chub. I'm like, I don't feel any joy in that. But they just like to touch me. See where the joy is? They just like to touch me. I'm their mommy. So that's what you do. So the 3 things to maintain your high frequency: do no harm, honesty, integrity, find your joy, give thanks. The 3 things to get there: uplifting frequency, music, music, music. Man, it's the truth. Random acts of kindness, find your joy and give thanks. That's their twice. So I remember being in a room full of people like this one time, and this man in the back of the room very sheepishly stands up and says, well, my joy is to rob a bank. I said, how human of you. I said, not to want to rob the bank, but to dissect it. This is 3 things that go together. So I said, if you can rob a bank and do no harm, with honesty and integrity, you should go for it. What can you say? They're the simplest rules I've ever heard in my life. But I tell you what, honesty is the hardest thing for humanity. We've been taught that the easiest thing to do is cover up our vulnerability. What's the most acceptable thing that we can do? Be angry. So guilt, shame, vulnerability of any sort, we lash out at somebody and we're angry. We drive everybody's frequency down, and now I feel good, don't I? But what really happens is that we can't handle truth. You must practice truth. So when the real emotion rises up and your tears come, allow it to come and say, I feel vulnerable right now, or you've hurt me, I feel hurt, I feel guilty, I ate all that stuff. I mean, how common in America, and I come from Canada, so I'm talking about the whole America, is to eat your pie hole off, feel tons of guilt, and then go take it out on your kids. I'm going to go and yell at someone now because I ate all that food. It's reactionary, but this is where you're kind to yourself and you say, oh, human, it's okay, next time we'll do better. What we're looking to do is connect an eternal, forever, ethereal being via the chakra system or the energy grid that runs up and down our spine. When we hook up through that, the soul, for lack of a better word, anybody who likes a better word, please, I don't mean to offend, but soul is the word I use, hooks up with the human, and then now they interact. Have I got 5 minutes? Okay. So, I'm getting the head nod there, so that's good. This is code. I will leave you with the music. That's code. FireTheGrid.com is online. It will be updated over the course of the next year. The date for the next meditation, if you'd like to participate, absolutely free. You have to don't buy anything, register for anything, nothing. However, it would be really cool if we had a list to show each other where we were and how many we were. But I would never want to impose. So that list will certainly be something that you're entitled to sign up and maybe you put up a fake name like the kids use, right? Superman 101, and just we want to know how many we are. We want to know we're not alone in the whole journey. So Fire the Grid 1 or 3, I don't know, again, how you guys want to see it, happens on November 11th at 11:11 GMT. So when I say GMT, I mean when you sit down to meditate at 3:11 in the morning, somebody will sit down at 3:11 in the afternoon. And if you're the type of person that cannot get up at 3:11 in the morning, they've even given me something for that. Write out your intentions. One of the coolest and best ways to connect soul and human is in the writing form. In the doing, you create the reality. Do not say not, never, negatives, ain'ts, whatever the negative language is. Pose it positive. I always choose healthy food that makes me feel great instead of I won't eat, fattening food. You see the little thing here for me, don't you? This is definitely one of my human journeys, but I always say there's so much energy coming from these beings, I need a big body to facilitate it. These beings are around you. When you're in despair, call out. I didn't do this for a long time, even though I had the experience. Call out. I don't know who you are, but I trust that you're there. Please send the right beings to me right now. I feel sadness. I feel empty. I need to remember. Ask, especially in the bathtub. Ask in the shower. Please send someone to be with me today. You don't have to define even who you're speaking to. Trust that there's someone there listening. Maybe it's just your own higher self. But you will find peace in that. And what the ultimate goal is to have enough of us on the planet vibrating at 800 or 900 or 1,000 megahertz, not 300. Now, one last little thing I got to try to sneak in because I forgot. We are entering a new plasma field. You talk about everybody talking about coming into the center of the galaxy and the galaxies lined up and the Mayan prophecies and all this thing. But what biologically is happening is the physical Earth, which is actually kind of an illusionary system, but is moving into a new plasma field. There's a new grid around us. It's there. It's ready to be charged. As we move into the plasma field, it's like throwing an egg into a bowl of semi-set jello. It goes, and all of a sudden the egg is in the middle of the jello and the thing closes in behind it. So there's no really opening. That's what's happening to the planet. That's why it's like birth. You know when the baby's being pressed down and there's all this pressure? Well, that's what we're in. We're in that pressure. So as the egg, or the Earth, enters the center of the new field and closes in behind itself, we are entitled to, it is our divine right, to charge the new grid. It's virgin, it's bare, it has no charge. But as we enter it, we will charge it. So whether we're resonating at 300 megahertz or whether we're resonating at 800 megahertz, we define the start of the new time. We are that much a piece of this. So the Fire of the Grid Day is the pinnacle of the 27 hours they told me that this shift was going to happen. And at that time, we could either participate or not, totally up to us. But if we do participate, we have the opportunity to amp up the start. So instead of starting, you know when you start a race, sometimes they give you a head start. You get 20 or 30 feet in the race. Well, if we can get our grid up to 700 or 800 megahertz, man, we're starting off in a great place. So we don't know what's coming. And if we start defining what's coming, we'll disintegrate in the definition of what's coming. But if we agree something's coming, something has to change. We don't have to define it, but something has to change. So I'd rather the grid start off at 800 megahertz. That means being in joy during that hour and saying thanks, meditating or praying, or all the things that I just told you about. So feel free, please, to join us on that day. I'm going to share this message anywhere and everywhere, so if somebody wants to invite me, you'll be able to connect through the site, and I'll try to find my way to you. The information is to get my family on a bus and take them with me, because I told them I wasn't going alone. So thank you so much for taking your time with me, and I appreciate it, and I wish you all high-frequency lives.
Thank you, Shelley Yates.